The world of Fallout 4 is not much different than our own. Corrupt leaders, corporate greed, high gas prices, and of course, baseball. Baseball is the most prominent of sports mentioned in the Fallout universe. From Vault 101's baseball team to the Boston Swatting Sultans. Even the guards of Diamond City are adorned with baseball-style armor. But baseball today is no longer about home runs or who could win in the World Series. It's about who gets beat to death with a baseball bat or blown up with a baseball grenade. Can you beat Fallout 4 as a baseball star? Now this wouldn't be a can you beat Fallout 4 video if my game didn't crash. And I shit you not, I haven't even started writing the rules for this game mode, and my game crashed. I'm suddenly very afraid for this run. Okay, some rules for this run because they're important. I cannot wear armor that doesn't have anything to do with baseball. I can only use bats and baseball grenades. However, I can upgrade my bat as needed due to Mo's rules of baseball in Diamond City. Life was good. The war was over and I had retired from the military into my next life, a Major League Baseball player for the Boston Swatters. I had a wife and a child and a robot butler who could do everything I needed. Later that very evening was the final game of the World Series where I would compete for a title. I named myself Baseball the Fifth. Yes, there are 5 of us. For special, I went with strength to swing my bat, then 3 in both endurance and agility, and 6 in luck and intelligence. I wasn't meant to run around the bases or steal. I was made for home runs. But before the game could begin, the boiling tensions of the world reached a breaking point, and nuclear weapons were dropped. I was frozen, saw my wife die, and I awoke, and only a single thought pierced my brain. I needed a baseball bat. This was the first run I've done where I couldn't kill anything in the vault. But after starting these kinds of videos, I knew it wouldn't be the last. So I locked them behind some doors and kept going. I then grabbed my Pip-Boy and ascended. I saw the wreck of the outside world and set off to a familiar place. Not home. God no. There wasn't anything left there. But to my home stadium in Boston. For the Sultan of SWAT could not SWAT without a swatter. Along my way, I collected junk and anything that wasn't nailed down so I could sell it for some cash. On my way, I found trash can Carla. She did not have a baseball bat, but I sold her all of my junk. I made Diamond City with no hiccups, waited around to see if any of these securities would die. They didn't. Then I went inside. I found Mo and purchased my bat, a sharp cedar swatter, as well as a batting helmet and uniform. I was finally ready to start this challenge. I sent Kyle's headed to left field and out of the park, and did Piper's interview for free experience. It was back to Concord. I had some raiders to send to hell. There was nothing a good quality cedar bat couldn't kill. Home runs came in abundance, but alas, a slug shotgun beats a wooden bat, and I died. The second time, I killed them all. I then decided to leave Preston. I had helped enough. I had more important things to do. I sent Trudy and her junkie son to hell, killed rats at Starlight Drive-In, and got jump scared by a rad scorpion. Then discovered Covenant. I've never found this in any of my playthroughs, but I know the test is the GOAT test from Fallout 3. I thought this place was neat, but Honest Dan needed help. A caravan had gone missing, and Baseball the Fifth was on the case. This place seemed really off. Too happy for the end of the world, and no baseball. Penny let her lips loose about a compound, and I stole the house key off of Jacob. Inside was his password to the terminal, and it showed me where the compound was. Jacob then threatened me as I left. The fisherman took tone with me, so he took a nap with the fishes. We made quick work of Manny and his guards, as well as the rest of the occupants. I gave Rosalind a fair chance to plead her case, but she wouldn't spare the girl, so I cracked my bat over her head. I then saved Amelia, and Dan paid me my cut, and I leveled up. Then I discovered Bunker Hill. Bought and sold some stuff, and my game crashed. God damn it. I killed some ghouls, found Old North Church, discovered Max Bar, and heard his dream he had since he was a child. And then I killed him. Then I found Jamaica Plain, for later. I headed back north and decided to help the Brotherhood. Our goal was ArcJet Systems, and the transmitter they had. Since learned this place, and I died a lot. I said, F dance, and traveled to Diamond City. I needed help. Armor to be exact, but I can't just kill a Diamond City security guard because they're all higher level than I am. So instead, I bought some baseball grenades. Baseball grenades work like normal grenades, except they're baseballs. I managed to kill a guard and nab his armor, and I finally felt prepared. I went back to dance and proceeded through ArcJet Systems. Armed with armor, I was able to not die instantly to lasers. As I killed each synth, I stole everything from them so I could sell it later for caps and aid. Synths died relatively fast to my bat, and my baseballs helped. I favor a fastball. Dance gave me something worthless, and I made a note to do a legendary weapons only playthrough. I then proceeded to Valentine's Detective Agency and learned that Nick was captured, and with the power of baseball, I'd have to free him. But first, I went to Jamaica Plain. I picked away the surrounding ghouls and killed a large group of them with a single grenade. Before I knew it, I had cleared most of the ghouls and once again, stupid myself into a corner. I cannot pick the lock, but there is a key. I found it and proceeded inside. I had 2 options, play it safe or raw dog it. Raw dogging it got me killed, so I played it safe. It was beautiful. The oak felt good in my hands, and I knew that this was my new baseball bat. For those who don't know, this bat can send targets flying, making them the baseball. I tested it on Wolfgang, Trashcan Carla, and Simone, but no one wanted to fly. I resolved to increasing my luck as I leveled up further to try to solve this issue. I went back to the Museum of Freedom and helped Preston out. I skipped the armor because that's cheating and took my bat to the squishy bodies of the Raiders. I killed Gristle with my fastball and knocked the Deathclaw out of the park. And I eventually killed it. Finished the quest and I went to bed. I found myself wandering aimlessly, no thought head empty style. I had plans I didn't even know about. It was like after I completed the quest with Preston, everything blurred. I discovered Abernathy Farm, Grand Slammed a Raider, killed Demol at Hardware Town and made green paint, gave Sheffield a Nuka-Cola, cleared Cambridge of Ghouls, cleared Super Duper Mart, searched for all the Lost Brotherhood recon teams. While doing this, I found a VATS enhanced baseball bat and found the last surviving member of the recon teams. Then I completed the quest. Then, of course, my game crashed. Restarting led me back to Reese, and a new location had cleared. I killed the rats and went back to Reese and rinsed and repeated for a bit to level up. This included Trinity Plaza, Huber's Comics, Mass Pike Tunnel, and then I decided I had done enough for them now. I followed the Freedom Trail and found the railroad for later, and went with Deacon on a mission to the old HQ. We played with some synths and the old security, and found the state of Tommy Whisperer, and the prototype, a better stealth boy. After that, I became their bitch. I got my mission from a dead drop, met Old Man Stockton, secured the rendezvous point, and then protected H2 until High Rise showed up, and we battled our way through mutants and raiders to reach the safe house. I decided that after this, it was time to fortify Sanctuary. Building settlements are a good way to level up and pass some time. I got Sanctuary up and running and completed that quest. Reported back to Dr. Carrington and completed Boston After Dark. I pulled a Batman and killed the raiders at Pigman Gallery, killed Slabbed, talked with Pigman, and received Pigman's gift. I then sold all my items again, got murdered by some Rust Devils, I then massacred them, decapitated this gunner, and caught his head. Discovered Good Neighbor, and put Finn to sleep. Fucked some super mutants with the end of my bat. And it was around this time I realized I wasn't asking if I could kill something anymore. I was killing everything. But it was time. I'd put it off long enough. Nick needed to be rescued. God was angry, and God sent me to relieve the Triggermen of their lives. Retribution would be sweet and simple. I found Nick, killed Big Fat Fuck, and found out where Kellogg was. I had a chance to find Shaun, my second greatest achievement after my baseball career. I found Fort Hagen. The synths were nothing compared to my bat. Dying as old age met the new. I got murdered by Synth Seeker. I then returned and hit a homer. I sent Kellogg into left field with a line drive, and then crushed his ribs with my bat. Stole a piece of his brain, and saw the Brotherhood Sluggers had come to play in the next World Series. We then determined that we needed to go to Good Neighbor in order to go through Kellogg's mind in order to find a way in. And then of course my game crashed. Also, I currently have COVID, yay, which is why this is taking so long. Also, I got distracted again. I'm at Jamaica Plain, a new settlement that I got fully loaded. I wanted to pass some time and level up without killing for a bit. I kind of just find myself building for a while. Honestly, I'm enjoying this playthrough a lot. Now that I was bored of that, these raiders died. I got nuked by Baker, fell to my death, and Quincy was my first big fight in a while. It was great, honestly, and it ended with Clint getting knocked out of the park, but my joy was short-lived. Clint had somehow survived, but with some good swings to his fusion core, Clint died. Quincy was now once again a ghost town. It was now to Good Neighbor, where I played in what remained of Kellogg's brain, and discovered that the way to the Institute involved teleportation, and the only way to get in would be to talk to Virgil in the Glowing Sea. I gave Nick a good whack when he sounded like Kellogg, and I fixed him. I went to the Glowing Sea, and gave myself a new upgrade to my bat. I rocket-propelled that son of a bitch. The Glowing Sea was the same as always, an irradiated cesspool devoid of all non-irradiated life, and of course, no baseball. I talked to Virgil and needed to now end the life of an Institute courser. But I have a question. What if there really was a place with all the zip of Nuka-Cola? That's right, fuckers. We're going on vacation to Nuka World. Why? Because I wanted to make this joke, and now I've made it. Harvey looked worse for wear, and I gave him a stim pack, but the asshole was a raider. But admiring his commitment to the role, he lived. I made a hard save just in case, and we were on our way to Nuka World. It was time to run the gauntlet. The machine guns weren't hard, and neither were the traps, and I made it to the access tunnels relatively unscathed. I then smashed every turret and made it through a minefield, but then died in an explosion. When I came back through, all the mines were gone, and now it was into the gas room, which was a pain, but I eventually found the key and opened the door. And finally arrived in Cola Cars, where the showdown with Coulter would happen. Gage had a plan. Coulter's armor is electrified, and the squirt gun would kill it. Then my bat would do the rest. And for all you going, but that's not baseball, shut the fuck up, it doesn't do damage. Coulter got knocked into right field, and after a few good swings, he died. Coulter was no more, and I became the new overboss of Nuka World. And now it was time to go back to the Commonwealth. I only wanted to make this single joke. But before leaving, I said goodbye to Evan, who was gone but not forgotten. rest in peace. I returned to the Commonwealth and proceeded to CIT, and then to Green Tech Genetics. There was a war going on inside, a war I did not care for. I don't think these assholes knew who they were up against, as I tanked every bullet. I turned this gunner into spaghetti, died, respawned, sent the gunner who killed me to hell, caught this one by surprise, and frightened him so bad he exploded and ended a legendary gunner. And in the bottom of the ninth, he swings and the courser's out of the park, and the game is over. I returned to the railroad and analyzed the courser chip. It was time to choose sides. I did some side quests to level up, and I found myself in the northeast point of the Commonwealth. I killed the Deathclaw in a furious rage. Bring it the f*** on. I'll f***ing end you. Drug time. Bitch ass motherfucker. Stole a boat and found myself on Far Harbor. Far Harbor is a lot like Fallout 3's Point Lookout. Missing child, go find them, uncover a bigger plot, and then leave. My main goal here was to complete a few quests and level up, but without having charisma, I could go no further, so I went back home. Turns out I can get a grenade launcher through side quest. I can't use it, but it will level me up. I traveled to Munshore Plaza, killed Marvin's security, and secured the launcher. I then killed Marvin and got my baseball launcher, a new weapon for my arsenal. I returned to Virgil and decided to build with the railroad. I still didn't know which faction to side with though. I killed everyone at Covenant, cleared Taffington Boathouse, built the teleporter, returned to Tom, and went on my scavenger hunt. Grabbed what I needed and finished the teleporter, allowing me into the Institute. I entered the Institute and found out I could jiggle dance. And I came face to face with Shaun, my son, all grown up. After realizing we never got to play catch, my mind was set. The Institute was my best bet to restore the game of baseball. I met the department heads, Dr. Lee gave me a courser chip, and I returned to Father, and there was a rogue synth who needed to be dealt with, and I was told to go to Libertalia. When I arrived, the Brotherhood was attacking the courser. Needless to say, both of them died. We entered Libertalia, the many raiders here would not stand between me and the rogue synth. I got blown up by a mini nuke, and then again, and I decided to bum rush them. I then proved, in fact, to a raider that they could not do this all day. I reset Gabriel and killed his raiders before they had a chance to notice, and I returned to Father. It was time for the Battle of Bunker Hill. There were synths that had gone missing there, and we needed to act fast in order to secure them. I traveled to Bunker Hill, met my contact, but the situation had escalated. We were going and shooting. The massacre came on swiftly, as most didn't fight back. When all was said and done, bodies littered the floor, and I found the synths and sent them back to the Institute. I returned to Father, reporting our success at Bunker Hill. Shaun realized that the Commonwealth was dead, and that the people were living here at a cost too great to them. He seems to feel empathy for those out here, while he was raised in the safety of the walls, something he wanted to share with everyone. But then I reminded my son that I still loved him. I attended the directorate meeting. We were moving into phase 3, finishing a reactor to power the Institute and end the energy problem. But Shaun is dying, and I was the next in line as the director. Dr. Fillmore filled me in, and it was time for mass fusion. We needed the beryllium agitator. I relayed to mass fusion, and the fun began, and it made me a permanent enemy of the Brotherhood of Steel. I killed the scribes and the knight guarding the surface and proceeded inside. Inside, they blew the elevator and the fighting began again. I exploded a knight, which in turn killed everyone else. I said f the elevator and went down the fun way, sent a knight sergeant flying, and beat the rest of the cowards to death. I then retrieved the agitator, killed all the security, and ended the lockdown. Thank God, synths related for backup, or I would have not stood a single chance here. I returned to the Institute and gave the agitator to Allie, and returned to Father. It was time to announce ourselves to the world. I recorded some lines and traveled to Diamond City in order to announce our message. I reconfigured the transmitter and returned to Shaun. Everything was ready and I activated the reactor. I then attended my first of many directorate meetings as the Institute director, and it was time to kick the hornet's nest. The Railroad and the Brotherhood of Steel needed to die. I returned to Father and our first step of our plan was set in motion. I needed to take care of the Railroad. I proceeded to the old HQ, bat in hand, feelings pushed aside. With 2 swings, Desdemona died, and the real fight began. The leaders died as easily as Desdemona, and I returned to Father. We finally could take the fight to the Brotherhood. We were going to turn their technology against them. I was ready to relay in and destroy the generators, allowing the synths to relay in and take the airfield, then hack Liberty Prime and make him an ally. This place was heavily fortified, but it was nothing a stealth boy couldn't help. I didn't stay hidden for long once inside. Dr. Quinlan died fast. This knight got sent home, and I quickly learned they stood no chance against me. As I destroyed each generator, I received more and more backup. The battle could finally start. My last mission was to protect a modified synth while they hacked Liberty Prime. I killed Proctor Ingram and the hacking began. It's amazing how a baseball bat can beat anyone in a walking Hulk suit, but let me tell you, it's fucking fun. Before Maxon even had a chance to fight, everything was over. The Prickland fell, and the battle was over. I returned to Shaun. He congratulated me, and told me that once he was gone, it would be all up to me to steer the Institute in the right direction. And Shaun went to sleep forever.
I think I'd like to sleep now.
But before the game could end, I stormed DB Technical High School, because there was a vile son of a bitch who needed to die. Bosco died at the end of my wooded bat, and I beat Fallout 4 as a baseball star. Hey guys, it's me. Before you go, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, and if you're not subscribed already, hit subscribe. Sorry this video took so long to get out. I'll be quicker with the next ones in the future. Thank you guys, and I'll see you all later.